You are Locked On Texas Tech, your daily podcast on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Talk about what that process looks like for Caleb Douglas, but first let's go back to Juice Johnson and take a listen to him talking about Douglas.
He's not a pro yet, but we're saying be pro ready. And CD has worked his way into being pro ready. He has a process. He sticks to his process. He's process oriented. He takes it day by day. He takes his recovery serious. All the things before we ever get to practice, and we talk about team-wise, about being a pro and being prepared and from a recovery perspective and just being available to practice. He's been knocking that out the park. So all of his preparation stuff has afforded him the opportunity to be set up to have a really great year.
Looking to continue the trend upwards, because he did do that within the season last year. That's encouraging, but can he take the next and I guess biggest step to become really the go-to guy?
Because consistency, when it's good, is the hardest thing to achieve for players. You show flashes get people fired. That's your potential and all that. And like, it's like, oh man, he's so, and I mean, right. This is what coaches flirt with. It's the most difficult thing to be consistently good, do it week in and week out. And I thought Josh Kelly provided a great example of that last year, to where it's like, we all kind of know where the ball's going. We know that it's third down, and he just still got open, still caught it, still moved the chains, consistent. That's why he's on the training camp roster for the Dallas Cowboys. It's funny too, because Juice talked about being a pro. As an aside, this is a great approach to recruiting, because Joey has really talked like this since he got here. And it's probably different to a group of transfers that are into their last year or have a couple of years left, because there's always a point in a player's career, where they're like, man, I've got so many years left. I may not pay attention in this meeting, or I'm going to stay up too late tonight. I'm not going to eat like they're telling me. It's like a laziness, or I don't really have to do all that yet. But there's always a point in each guy's career, if they do realistically, they're playing and they have hopes about maximizing their junior and senior year or playing past that they really listen to the be a pro type stuff. And I just remember talking to Tyler Owens 2 years ago. We remember him, and man, did he look the part. The first year he got here, he didn't really say any of these things, but I just remember before his senior year, when he was here, he was like, yeah, I've been really cognizant of how much sleep I'm getting and how much, right? And I wonder if Caleb Douglas has kind of entered into this phase of when he gets here last year, it's like, man, I got 3 years to play here. And he's 1 year under his belt. He could theoretically leave after this year if he has the kind of year that he would hope. He's got the measurables and all that. But it's because those scouts want to know that too. How seriously does he take this? Because all these guys, large in part, have been able to rely on their talent and get away with it at the high school level and even getting on a college roster. But it's a pyramid theory. Like who takes it serious enough to like live it, eat right, sleep right, train right, get my body feeling good after a tough practice so I'm good to go for the next day, so there's no drop off and I can be consistent. And I think that it's interesting that Juice talks about him, because I'm guessing that Caleb has now entered into this phase of his junior season now, and there's some expectations, and you're going to be – and so it's important that he's treating it like a pro. The high school athlete just doesn't realize what the college athlete does, and then I don't think that the college athlete really understands how a professional goes. There's levels to this. And
no doubt.
Right? Yeah. And so I think that's important to hear, because this is part of the consistency aspect. And I'm not saying Caleb did or didn't do anything different last year, but there's just there's a point where they graduate into this, okay, I can see the end here at this place, at this level. I better maximize it, and this is all that it's going to take. And that's the beauty of the Womble and what they've put together over there. Everything is there to help you do this and to squeeze as much out of you as they can.
I viewed Caleb last year as a guy who was a big play threat. Could obviously get behind the defense, has some size to him and some length, obviously, as well. But early on, I thought, is he someone who can be counted on for some 50-50 balls on a regular basis to go his way, or to make some catches whenever you are down the field in a big play type of setting? And early, it was hit or miss, I thought. As the season went on, I think that's an area that you actually did see more consistency, is that he was securing some of that. How did you view his profile as a player last year? Because really the thing I'm not saying, I'm wondering about this year, is can he be a go-to third down or dirty third, whatever you said yesterday, type of receiver, which Josh Kelly was?
I think when we first really saw Caleb Douglas's potential pay dividends was at the game in Tucson against Arizona. He had a couple of big time catches there, and he had Takario Davis guarding him. And I think Takario Davis has since transferred out, but that's an NFL corner. That's going to be somebody that plays at the next level. And I think Caleb beat him consistently that night on large in part 50-50 balls. And remember, I think it was CJ Baskerville that intercepted that pass like late in the second quarter. Like it was like Noah Fafita was trying to throw the ball away, and he left it too far in bounds, and like Baskerville just runs over there to the corner of the end zone, gets a foot down, and it's like, but then you're pinned. You're kind of pinned down, and there wasn't much time left. And Kitley calls this bomb, and they hit it to Caleb Douglas, and you flip the field almost instantly, and you get 3 points right before the end of the half. Turns out those were pretty big points, but that's kind of what turned that game around, is that ability to hit Caleb on a 50-50 ball. And if you're really a good at the 50-50 ball, the quarterback and the receiver will feel like that's a 80-20 ball. That's really where you need to be. Confidence, trust, because you can make a quarterback look good if you're not going to go up and come down with it, or you're not going to fight for it. And it's up to the quarterback to large in part try to put that to where only his guy can get it too. But again, when you got pressure and all that, it's hard sometimes. But I go back to the Liberty Bowl too. There was some drops there by Caleb. You know, there was some opportunities there for some big plays that he didn't haul in. So this is why all the potential is there. He could be an all-conference guy. He's that good. But I think you touched on it. Like when we need it, man, and we don't have to hit the home run, and we're not in between the 20s, and it's 3rd and 7. You know, when we run something to the sideline or whatever, I mean, you hauling those in 95 to 98% of the time. Yeah. That's no the question,
deal,
right? And that's those are going to be important as we go through the season. They're going to be some on the road. You know, and Barron's got his own deal. The offensive line's got his own deal. But, like, you know, can your guys produce consistently? And I think Caleb will be at the head of the list being asked to do that.
I want to ask you before we get out of here, if it is not an answer of Caleb Douglas to the question of who fills the role of Josh Kelly,